a source for technological innovation in England. Indian textile commission tꯧꯕꯁꯤꯅ Englandꯗ technological innovation ama search tꯧꯕꯁꯨ mateng panglammeꯕꯀꯣ. In 1764 the spinning jenny haidi ngasi lai spinning jenny is a machine made by which a single worker could operate several spindles on which thread was spun. Spun thread nairiba the spindle mem operate over machine makala mane spinning jenny je. When the wheel was turned, all the spinning wheel nadi sakada turn on to spindle lon rotate to ko. In 1764, spinning jenny was invented by John Kaye. 1764 da kanova spinning jenny was invented by John Kaye na. John Kaye na puthokibane ko kaibo spinning jenny se. In 1764, the spinning jenny was invented by John Kaye, which increased the productivity of traditional spindles. John Kaye na puthokibane 1764 the machine traditional spindle productivity henggahangi. The invention of steam engine by Richard Arkwright. Richard Arkwright na invention the steam engine invention the in 1786 the revolutionized cotton textile weaving. Cotton textile weaving revolutionized the hockey. Cloth could now be woven in immense quantities and shipping to. The fironsi hujikti taiba ngamleba karida immense quantity and shipping to. However, Indian textile continued to dominate world trade until the 18th century. 18th century by the 1790s adai Indian textile na gidawro ngamma da de dominate over ngamliba. European trading companies including Dutch, French, English made enormous profit out of exploring European trading companies in Dutch, French, and English na also profit kamam lawriba India ni pusay man pushing laga yolaga. These companies purchased cotton and silk textiles in India. Harib companies sina cotton and silk textiles in India lawrni moina kadi pusilaklaga silver pusilaga ko. But as you know, chapter 2 the yaw when English East India Company gained political power in Bengal, when English East India Company na Bengal the political power fanglaba matungda, it no longer had to import metal silver and gold se makada na pusilakidreba moina India dagi moina political power to khudum chalabani import avakta so moi Britain dagi import powder torokta so moi thokba kana toroga India dagi namna talgi kulga na khangibado ko. Instead they collect to siarole pusilakoi mota revenue kongale from peasants amasung zamindar dagi in India da leba peasants zamindar dai mo hoina kai kongaleba revenue kongale and use this revenue to buy Indian textile. High revenue scenery Indian textile scenery paisa textile later poor and Britain tang lalo yolran paisa man tungani. The India na mokoina adikari silver amasung gold pusilab kreba. A city view of Dutch settlement in Cochin. Dutch settlement Cochin na city in the 17th century la sije. As European trade expanded, trading settlements were established. As European trade expanded, European trade side European trade along expand trading settlements were established at various spots. Tungan port at the hitang bombing the the Dutch settlement in Cochin. Kosi hedi kan masai kai le kan tagada lagi but Dutch settlement kosi kan kan tagada ko Dutch settlement kochi Calicut hai aur Calicut sina kana gina ba Portuguese ki kada lai ko ina kochi sina Dutch ki neba Dutch ki came up in 17th century. The Dutch in Kochi, the 17th century had 17th century had the Ahmad Hanta 16 Dagina 17 year the Maraxin, 21st century Hydra, 20 day Hodra, 17th century had 16 day Hodoko. Notice the fortification around the settlement. The fortification picture क्लास 8 की हिस्ट्री ने एनसीईआरटी एक बार चैप्टर क्या यौरे 6 यौरे where where the major centers of weaving in the late 18th century 18th century telok by the 1790s at hai ko major centers of weaving in the late 18th century the 18th century the major centers kai do way ban ko plain white na star ka bli check and strips aduga chin silk si makal pire figure 8 1500 and 17 kano 50 boko. If you look at the maps saying you will notice nang kangani that textile production was concentrated in 4 regions. Textile production je 4 regions concentrated away boko. In early 19th century, the Bengal was one of the most important. Masjid Bengal si amna mawa center mane Bengal si British Bengal location gi ham tam the Battle of Plassey loraga Sirajuddaulah mati pira 1757 location gi ko. Bengal was one of the most important centers located along the numerous rivers in the delta. The production centers in Bengal could easily transport goods and distant places. The production centers in Bengal could easily transport goods to distant places. Bengal leibisi mafam yamna sai putok pusin tawbado ama tawbado ko Bengal leibisi. Do not forget that in the early 19th century, do not forget that in the early 19th century, the railways had not developed and roads were not just beginning to let. The railway early 19th century, angan basi ko, 1810, 1820 the railways present developed when the roads were not only just beginning to be let and extensive scale. The roads were not only sorry no diamond roads were only just beginning horokpada ngai road pirong keno kana road sai sorok ka siam ma pasana aduna matam yam changam me to kusin to da Bengal city mahum cha ya matam chang je ko te no ai re ko Dhaka in eastern Bengal now Bangladesh Dhaka di eastern Bengal le hojita Bangladesh was the foremost textile center in 18th century quite yan and the textile center in 18th century matamgi. It was famous for its mulmul and jamdani weaving. Dhaka se magi famous ko mulmul amasung jamdani weaving ki damakta. If you look at the southern part of India in the map sida na India ki southern part yeng matamda ko you will see a second a second cluster of cotton weaving center. The cotton weaving center the lasing naiba center ama along the Coromandan coast from the ko stretching to Madras. Madras to stretch to Madras from the Satpai. Northern Madras to Andhra Pradesh from Satpako. Madras to Andhra Pradesh from Madras the Bombay, the Andhra Pradesh from Satpa. On the western coast, there were important weaving centers in Gujarat. The western coast, there were important weaving centers like Gujarat. Who were the weavers? Weaver lang nai basing jikana no ko. Who were the weavers? Lang nai weavers often belong to the communities that specialize in weaving. Lang nai basing jikana no tadi. Moi belong to community dia ko specialize in weaving ko na tunga tamlab community dia ko. Their skills were passed on from one generation to next. Moi hising basi generation am generation am da piram me tambiram me ko. The Tanti weaver of Bengal ki Tanti weaver haibase. Aduga the Zulahas and Momin weavers of North India gana Zulahas amasung Momin weaver haibase. Aduga Shell and Kaikolar and Dibangs of South India gana Shell Kaikolar amasung Dibangs haibase are some of the communities of famous weaving. Moise apawa weaving the apawa communities karagi maming ne ko. The stage of production was spinning. The stage of production di poto was spinning. Spinning ay di ako kanon na ibo. Muthap na ibo material. A work done by women. Lupina tawo ko. The sarkha and takli. The sarkha and takli were household spinning instruments. The sarkha sung takli hay sina ꯌꯨꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯩꯊꯥꯞ ꯅꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯏꯟꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯨꯃꯦꯟꯅꯤꯀꯣ. ꯗ ꯊ꯭ꯔꯦꯠ ꯋꯥꯁ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯨꯟ ꯑꯣꯟ ꯆꯔꯈꯥ ꯑꯦꯟ ꯔꯣꯜ ꯑꯣꯟ ꯇꯥꯛꯂꯤ. ꯊ꯭ꯔꯦꯠ